Cord.
All right, I'm on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to what I believe, is this Pulse 3.0 or 4.0, John?
Probably about 11.0, Randy.
Okay, I'm a few behind.
35 years of this, 35 years, I'm proud to say.
Well, I think for us, this is probably our third or fourth refresh on Pulse. So, I would like to start today by thanking the team and welcoming the team to the call, thanking them for their patience as we've been waiting for this latest refresh. And John, I want to thank you and your team for all the support that you've afforded us, not just with this latest initiative, but, from the very beginning. We have seen tremendous results as a result of, your participation with Black Press Media, and we are really looking forward to the refresh of Pulse and to learning more about the developments and improvements that you have made to the Pulse platform. I would like to congratulate the team and the leadership group on the level of engagement that we had with this latest Pulse survey. The fact that we had, I believe it was 9,561 participants, in this latest survey is nothing short of remarkable. I mean, I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of a 45-minute survey. So, the fact that 9,561 British Columbians took that amount of time to help us gather this important market information speaks volumes about the relationship that they have with our brands across British Columbia, and speaks volumes about, the power of those brands to engender engagement. And looking forward in the days ahead to being able to have conversations with our advertisers across BC about how they too can leverage that relationship that we have with our audience. So John, again, thank you for the work that you've done. I'd also like to say a very special thank you to Carly Ferguson and Sean McHugh, who have been the lead media on this initiative. They've invested a considerable amount of time to making sure that things happen when they need it to happen. So thank you, Carly and Sean, for your support and your work on this initiative. Over to you, John.
Well, thank you very much, Randy. And I want to express on behalf of the Pulse Research team our appreciation to you personally and your leadership. We love working with you. And thank you, Carly, and thank you, Sean. You guys are absolutely awesome. And welcome, Black Press team, this morning to the refresh of your Pulse program. I am very, very proud and honored to have the privilege of working, with you, and let me say for you. I will do everything I possibly can to assist and support your success. At one time, quite a few years ago, I was an ad rep, and I do a lot of four-legged sales calls and get out there and experience your real world. I will do everything I personally can to assist and support you. And to that end, let me give you my email right now. It's Marling, M-A-R-L-I-N-G, @paper.net. That's Marling @paper.net. And I want you to have that, so if you've got any questions, any concerns, and even any suggestions on how we can make the Pulse tools more usable and effective for you, I want to hear from you. The program today is for you. You are the ones that can make it happen. You are the ones who engage with the individual businesses in your community. And I think we'd all agree that those businesses in today's world, they need your help. They look to you, as the professional, as the person, the partner who can assist and help them grow their business. And that's the mission of Pulse, is to assist and help you achieve that objective of helping your businesses. I know nothing feels better, as an associate than helping your business get new customers, celebrate success with them. The other thing I want to focus on today is I want to make this real world. I want to make sure that at the end of our time together this morning, it's been meaningful, it's been actionable, it's been usable, because it relates to your real world. Things I want to include as we go through the refresh this morning are some very specific real-world challenges and opportunities that you got. Number one is, I think you'll all agree, You're very busy today. You're juggling many, many things at the same time. We're doing everything at Pulse to make our tools and our program faster and more efficient for you. Another thing I see out in the real world is it's hard to get hot leads. I mean, you can get prospects, but let's be blunt. Let's get some hot leads for you. You know, the ones that have the highest propensity to say yes to a consistent campaign. We've got, and I'll show you in the Pulse program, we're able to identify those business types that across North America say yes more often. So we'll point those out to you. And obviously in the real world, it's tough, it's challenging, you know, as you're out there in the field, overcoming the objections. Not just, you know, well, I ran an ad 7 years ago and it didn't get results, but in today's world, unfortunately, there's a lot of businesses who think, well, print is dead. We're going to smash that misperception. And in addition to that, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to help you with your closing effectiveness. And I've got some good news we'll show you in just a second. We've developed a tool, a resource to engage that local business person so they themselves experience oh my gosh, I can say yes to a consistent 52-week campaign in your Black Press publication and blended digital program because they realize it's all upside. There's no risk. And those of you who want to make more money, raise your hand right now. Don't be bashful. If you want to make more money, raise your hand, and yes, you can. Because the tools that we're providing you, the resource, and the opportunity to engage and deliver to those businesses, if you seize the opportunity, seize what we're providing, you will make more commission. I can personally absolutely guarantee that for you. So let's start out with the local businesses. That's what's most important. You are the ones who meet with them individually each day, each week, each month. What's most important is relating to their needs and to their world. And here's the good news. It's actually pretty simple. Just remember one thing. Focus on what their need is, what they want, what they demand, what they expect from you, and that's what's in it for them. They want solutions, they want ideas, they want you as a partner to assist and help them identify how they can get more business, how they can get additional revenue for their business. And here's the great news. In thousands of four-legged sales calls I've made with team members just like you, calling on businesses just like the ones you run, they say thank you. They appreciate a person caring about their business enough to share information about and for the opportunity for their specific business category. And here's even better news. We have updated, fresh shopping information of Black Press print readers, website visitors, and their purchasing plans for over 500 business categories. For automotive, for real estate, financial, for healthcare, for retail, for restaurants, literally every single business category you can think about. We have fresh, as of 2 weeks ago, new shopping information. This is not market, and I want to underscore this. This is information about your audience, which makes it even more usable and actionable. And Pulse simply ask the questions your businesses would ask if they had the opportunity to do a survey of your print and digital audience. It's really quite simple. It's not rocket science here. All Pulse Research did is ask, like a furniture store would ask, do you plan to shop at a furniture store? What do you plan to buy? Living room furniture, bedroom furniture, dining room furniture. A realtor would ask, okay, do you plan to list your home? Do you plan to list land? Do you plan to buy a residence? A car dealer would obviously ask, do you plan to buy a new car, used truck? What type of brand you plan to buy, etc. It's very, very simple. All we did was ask the questions they would ask of your audience. And How did we get them to respond and take the Black Press shopping survey? Very simply. We just put ads in the paper, links on the website, email blast. We invited them to go online and take the survey, and then just ask the questions that they would ask about their business category, the products and services. And we also asked about social media. Why? Because I know when I've been on four-legged sales calls, and I'm sure you have too, well, I don't need you. I put my special on Facebook, and so I don't need the local community newspaper anymore. Well, we asked your audience about their use of business Facebook pages, and do they respond to those offers? And I've got great news. They don't. Now let's go into the details, and Randy mentioned this a moment ago, and get ready to cheer. 9,561 completed sample. Let's put that into perspective. When they do Canadian national surveys, they only do 1,200 households across all of Canada. Just 1,200. You've got 8 times the number they use on a statistically valid sample for Canada. You've got 8 times the number just in your markets in British Columbia. And here's even better news. Each of your regions, the islands, BC South, the Kootenays, BC North, the mainland, each one of your markets has your own shopping information of your audience. What's that mean? What's the benefit for you? You can go confidently, into a business in Abbotsford, Nanaimo, Terrace, and the information is about and for those businesses. And so you've got a tool, a resource that nobody else has. The radio stations don't have this. Other print doesn't have this. And the businesses don't have this information. And it's the information that they want, they expect, and they very much appreciate. Let me share with you kind of a best practice, if I might. There are a lot of you, associate team members who are people, okay? You're very good with relationships, etc. And I'll just be blunt. Some of you aren't particularly confident or comfortable with numbers. That's okay. But sometimes the numbers, your fact that you're not quite comfortable with numbers get in the way of your use of this information because you're not quite sure. Let me just share with you a little bit of an insight. Right now, today, in Nanaimo, in Peace Arch, in Kelowna, Salmon Arm, etc. Do you guys reach households in the next 12 months who are going to shop at a furniture store? Raise your hands if you agree that, yes, you're going to reach households in the next 12 months, you're going to buy a furniture store, shop at a furniture store. Yeah, all the hands go up because, yeah, you reach households, you're going to shop at a furniture store. But what you don't know is how many, right? And so all Pulse does is ask of your audience, do you plan to shop at a furniture store in the next 12 months? We calculate out the number who said yes to get the percentage. And so then we apply that a percentage to the households you reach. So if 10% say yes, they're going to shop at a furniture store from the survey, and you reach 10,000 households, that's 1,000 households. So it gives you the conversation, the facts, the validation, the opportunity for the business. That's all we do. It's really simple. You've got buyers. All Pulse does is ask your audience their future purchasing plans is what the businesses want. What's going to be bought in the future? What's my opportunity to get the number for you and your businesses? It's frankly as simple as that. It's not rocket science. So just remember that this information is absolutely, totally solid. We could do the survey over and over and over and over, and the results would be consistent with the June results from just 2 weeks ago. So it's great information, and it's an opportunity for you to assist and work with the businesses. Here's even better news. I mentioned a moment ago that one of the objections that you face on an unfortunately pretty regular basis is, well, print is dead. You don't reach my customers anymore. I've got great news for you. Pulse just completed a phone market survey by either cell phone or landline, and we called on a random basis households within each one of your distribution areas and asked them a couple of very simple but very, very important questions. Do you and you or somebody in your household read? And by name we asked. So we're making calls in Salmon Arm. We asked about the Salmon Arm Observer. We're making calls in Abbotsford. We asked about the Abbotsford News. We specifically asked the Black Press newspaper by name, the Black Press website by name, as we're making calls on a representative basis across the communities in British Columbia that you distribute. So the calls were distributed by population. So if one paper group area had 4% of the total households in your total footprint reach, they got 4% of the calls. It's a pure statistical random survey. The results are absolutely awesome. 70% of all the households in your market in the last month were reached either by print or by digital on a net unduplicated basis. So in other words, if they read the paper and went to the website, they were only counted once. 70% of the households you reach on an unduplicated basis. In the last week, 61%. In the last 24 hours, 46%. Nobody, radio, television, Facebook has that level of reach. That is phenomenal. This is a great validation for you to be able to stand toe-to-toe and look that person right in the eye and say, we reach the market. Do we reach everybody? No. Nobody reaches everybody, but you reach more, and this is important, than anybody else. In addition to that, Black Press in your communities is the #1 source of local news. Now that's kind of cool. I got news. #1 source of local advertising. Be proud of the fact. In fact, shout it out. Tell your story. Because the perception, unfortunately, is that print is dead. You've got now the ability to smash that misperception. Be proud of that. Be confident and tell your story. We've got the information. Now let me share with you a quick overview of how you can effectively use the shopping information to really engage and assist and help those local businesses. And I'm sure that you are like me, and I mentioned this a moment ago, one of your missions is helping the businesses. Here's the tools and resources to engage, help the businesses, and at the same time, significantly enhance your commission opportunity. So let's go through the Pulse tools. It's really just a simple sales tool for each step of the sales process. And obviously, here are the steps of the sales process. #1, prospecting, but not just prospects, not just anybody. Who are the hot ones? Who are the prospects that have the highest propensity, as I mentioned a moment ago, to say yes to a consistent advertising campaign? I'll show you how to identify them in just a moment. After you've identified some hot prospects and leads, and obviously the next step is engagement, starting the conversation, getting the appointment, or out there just cold calling, knocking on doors, starting that conversation and engaging. And for those of you with us this morning who are brand new, what I've heard back from other ad reps who are new is they love this because it gives them the words to say to start the conversation, to engage with that business. The next step after the engagement, obviously, you got that business opened up and enter. Let's find a solution for that business. Find out with the information where they can get new customers, where they can get new revenue. It's a very, very, very awesome and effective needs analysis because it's business centric. and it's unique, and it's based upon the information about and for the business. And I'll go into some examples in just a moment on how you guys can use this information and tools to find out how you can assist and help the businesses, okay? Now, the next step after you've found a solution, the business says, my gosh, help me get my share, help me. And that's when you come back with a full presentation, a consistent, and yes, a 52-week program. And I know a lot of you think, a lot of you have heard, you can't get them to sign a 52-week program. I'll look you right in the eye and say, yes, you can. And I will back that up and show you how with the Pulse closing tool. The next step, obviously, in the sales process is overcoming objections. We talked about that a moment ago. Print is dead. Now you've got the ammunition, 70%. But it's Facebook, I don't need you. I put my post on Facebook. Let me show you how to effectively overcome that, including other objections like I don't have a budget, I didn't get results, on and on and on. All the excuses they give you not to advertise. And by the way, these excuses are just defense mechanisms. That's all. Once they understand that you are the one, the partner who can deliver more opportunity and business for them, they forget about all their meaningless and unfounded excuses. It changes everything. The last step of the sales process is obviously closing. And we've developed an interactive engagement with the business that they themselves experience how few customers they need. In other words, take away the risk, the fear of a 52-week campaign with you. And I'll be blunt, selling ads one at a time is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. When I was a brand new ad rep, that's one of the first things I was taught. Make sure you've got a book of business that is consistent. That is what builds your foundation, of commissions. And so the closing tool, I'll show you live in just a second. It's a means to engage the business so they say, yes, this is a no-brainer. So sales process, tool for each of the steps. Now let me go through just some examples, show you some pictures of what we're talking about in terms of the tools, and at the same time share some best practices, and then we'll go live, and show you, how to literally in seconds create, these tools. First step, recommendation, obviously prospecting the hot leads. We've got 3 prospecting tools for you. One is geo-prospecting by area. It's mapping, so you can zoom right in on your phone or on your desktop and identify prospects that you might have overlooked in your sales territory. Number 2 is, and this is the best one, this is the one that you can identify business categories that are most prone to advertise on a consistent basis. And then the third prospecting tool we have for you is based upon that category's projected reader buying power. This is just mind-boggling. It'll just absolutely, you go, oh my gosh, the total opportunity. So anxious to show you that one. So we got 3 prospecting tools for you. This is just a quick map to show you an example of, and we'll show you live in just a second, of the geo-prospecting tool. And then next, engaging with the business. You've identified some hot leads, either through the geo-prospecting tool, and we've got 2 ways that are simple, fast, and easy to engage the business and start the conversation. One is the Pulse teaser. And like the name implies, it's a little tease to get their interest, get their attention. And then we have the Pulse flyer. Here's an example of the teaser. You now have, and the methodology, the business model has always been, is you got an information piece on that special section, you got a VIP program, etc. You got information on your rates and their deadlines, right? I'll be blunt. That's what's in it for you. Let's wrap that information piece that you're taking out anyways with what's in it for them. And as you can see in this example right here, this is for an insurance agent. So I'm out there and they're making my calls. I'm going out there and I've got this special section coming up. I've wrapped it with this teaser. and it gets the business engaged. It gives me the words to say that relates to what the business wants. What's in it for them? Look at this. There's almost 6,000 households who plan to change to get a new insurance agent. Would you like to know how to talk to them directly? Would you like to know what they plan to buy, what insurance plans they have? Of course they will. It starts the conversation. Let me pause for a second. How did we get the 6,000? Well, it's really simple. If you look down here, remember all Pulse does, you know darn well you got households who get a new insurance agent. All Pulse did was ask in the survey, do you or somebody in your household plan to change insurance agencies? From the survey, and this is an example here, 18% said yes. And so we now know what percent. We just take the percent times the households you reach. Very simple. And it gives you the number of households, what's in it for them, of your audience. And this is very, very important. This isn't market. This is your audience that will change or get a new insurance agent in the next 12 months. So that's the Pulse teaser wrap. And by the way, at the bottom here, it gives you the opportunity to staple your business card. So instead of just going out there and handing out flyers, it's what's in it for you, put a teaser wrap around it. I'll show you in just a second how to create one literally in 15 seconds. Next is the Pulse flyer. And the Pulse flyer is kind of like a super teaser. It's designed for cold calling. It's designed to help you when you're knocking on doors, engaging with new businesses, to very effectively get them engaged. Look at the headline. To help you, the business person, find solutions. Isn't that what it's all about? To get new customers? Pulse Research asks the questions you would ask. They get that. They understand that. And by the way, very important suggestion tip, best practice. When they realize the research was about and for them, they embrace it. They love it. But if they think that the research is yours, that you did it to sell them something, obviously all their defensive go up. When they realize you ask the questions they would ask, it becomes their survey, doesn't it? So when you're at a jewelry store and say, look, we asked jewelry store questions. They understand it's a jewelry store survey. If you say, this is a black press survey, they immediately think because you said black press, it's your survey. So say, we asked jewelry store questions. You can even say it's a jewelry store survey because it is. We asked jewelry store questions. But look at this. Like the teaser, it's got the big number, the benefit, what's in it for them. And it's really difficult for a jewelry store to close their eyes, walk away, and ignore 5,400 potential jewelry store customers, right? Because it relates to their world. But the flyer takes it to the next level. Let's find a solution. Look at there, black and white on your flyer sheet. Let's together. I'm a partner. I want to help you. Let's find a solution. Where can you get more? Here's the demand. Challenge them. That's the challenger sales model, by the way. Where can you get more? And they go, oh my gosh, look at the number of households who are going to buy necklaces. We should be advertising necklaces. It's as magical and as effective as that. This is, by the way, the #1 product that Pulse has now, because team members like you love it, because it's conversational, it grabs their attention, and it engages the business, finds a solution, so they say, well, what kind of options do you have? What type of packages do you have? Let's advertise necklaces. I was at an HGVAC business a few months ago, and he said, well, I'm too busy to advertise. We got our trucks running around all the time, a lot of construction, a lot of remodeling, et cetera. We don't need you. Thank you. And I said, well, sir, maybe there's some solutions, some ideas you're not aware of. He said, what do you mean by that? I said, well, we did an HGVAC survey. What did you ask? Well, the other things we asked about was furnace repair, by the way. Let me see that. So I showed him on the flyer here, the furnace repair, the number of households needing furnace repair. He looked right at the ad rep and said, let's start advertising furnace repair. He said, my back shop needs more business. That's how you get the yes, that's how you get the business engaged, is with their information. And I want to underscore that again. This is their information. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy about using it. And if you let it sit there and not get out there, use it with these businesses, you're letting them down. And let me just say for a moment, a lot of you've got some existing advertisers. Well, let me put it another way. Many of you have advertisers who run, but not consistently, right? This is the biggest opportunity you've got. Share this information with these businesses who do advertise, but they only advertise seasonally or just a couple times a year. When they see the opportunity and they identify with you how they can get more customers like furnace repair, now they'll start advertising on a consistent, regular basis. So that's the Pulse Flyer. Very, very useful for cold calling, engaging, finding the solution. Here's a summary of what we just talked about in finding a solution. Challenge them. Where can you get more? Then we have overcoming objections. The number one fear of a business person is missing out. They want to, and I think you'll agree with me, they want to reach every single household who plan to buy their product or service, right? They don't want to miss anybody. So let's show them what they're missing if they're using Facebook and not you. Let's show them what they're missing if they're on the radio station and not with you. And speaking of radio, we asked, have you made a purchase from an ad on a local radio station in the past 30 days? 40% said yes, 60% said no. What does that mean? That means if they put that tire special, that jewelry special, that furnace repair special on the radio only, they're missing 60% of your households. If they say, well, we use email, well, 23% respond to email, but the flip of that is what they're missing is 77%. And we'll go over this in just a moment, but part of the sales process is overcoming objections. Welcome the objections, because that gives you the insight into being able to tell your story, showing them, in this case, what they're missing, okay? And then the last piece of the sales process is closing. Here's an example of the break-even calculator. And we'll go live in just a moment and show you it. What it does is it engages the business. They provide the information on their customer value, what a net customer is worth to them after they take out their cost of goods. So they realize how few customers they need, how few customers they need to pay for the campaign. And what they realize is that's a no-brainer. And so we'll show you the break-even calculator. By the way, raise your hand if you've got a smartphone. All of you have smartphones. This is designed, and all the Pulse tools are designed to use on a mobile device, smartphones, or tablets. Now I'd like to go live and show you your Pulse tools. And we'll go here to Abbotsford. And when you log in on your homepage on your dashboard is a very simple, clean list, if you will, of your Pulse sales tools. A sales tool for each step of the sales process. Prospecting, engagement, needs analysis, the presentation, overcoming objections, and closing. You can access Pulse on your smartphone. And all you have to do is go to pulseresearch.com, log in, and on an iPhone, there's a link to save it to your screen. And the same thing with an Android. Your IT people or your buddy can help you out. I would suggest today that you add the link to your Pulse sales tools, your dashboard, on your smartphone and on your tablets. That way you've got it available out in the field. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. Number one, let's find some hot leads for you. Not just any leads, hot leads. So I'm going to click here under prospecting on hot prospects. And up will come a list of the over 500 businesses we asked in your survey. And by the way, your survey results have been updated. They are live and they are in your Pulse sales tools right now, ready for you to engage and assist and help your businesses. Okay, so let me show you. Give me a quick overview first. Pulse, I'm proud to say, works with over 600 publications in North America. And that's about 6,000 ad reps, give or take. Every time an ad rep creates a presentation, it automatically records the business type, like a new vehicle dealership. And then when you guys put in what happened, did you sell it? Did they say no? If they said yes, what was the sale for? We're able to track the close ratio, the average sale, and how many are sold. That's pretty cool because it gives you real world what other ad reps across North America are selling, but more important, which businesses are saying yes. And let me just say this. When I was an ad rep in Beaverton, Oregon, I thought my sales territory was unique. Now that I've had the opportunity over the last 30-some years with Pulse to literally go out and make sales calls in, 7 provinces of Canada and all 50 states, guess what? My sales territory wasn't unique at all. They're all the same. Anyways, and so here is a list. Just click on Sold Rank. Here are the business categories that are most sold across North America. And there's some real surprises here, and there's some recommendations. If I was on your team, I would get out and make presentations this afternoon. Attorneys, huge, number 10 most sold on the list. You've got a great story to tell. There's a significant number of households you reach who are going to get a new will or change a will. That's huge. The other area I'd advise right away is financial advisors. You've got a great story to tell there. The percentage you plan to get a new financial advisor, change, their portfolios, et cetera. I literally am confident with this information, I can close 75% of the financial advisors and attorneys. This list is your list. This is the opportunity from across North America, the business categories that will say yes. The other thing is if you're doing a special section like health and wellness, you click here on category and look at this. It organizes your 500 business types by category. So if you got a fashion section coming up, here are your fashion businesses. If you're doing automotive special section focus, here are your automotive categories. You're doing health and wellness, you go down here and you look at all these health and wellness businesses. It's absolutely awesome. Okay? And we've got a search built into here. So by the way, so you can come here and if you want to find a particular business, go back here to Sold Rank. And so let's go down here to legal. Let's click on find and it'll bring up a list for you. And yes, you can change, you can put in your own postal code right here. And it will then zero in right in your own specific locale. So you can change postal code, you can put in the name of the community. You can click on a map and it brings up, you can create an account, teaser, flyer, etc. You can go over the list right here, click create, and let me show you. You've identified an attorney, hot category, right? You click on teaser, okay? And boom, up comes for you the 3 teaser options. What to say, what to email, and to print. And by the way, you can change the audience option. So you can do, let's say you're in Peace Arch, you click on Peace Arch, and it populates your teasers with the basis for the distribution of your Peace Arch news. But look at this, what a great story to tell. So you're on the phone, you will call in to set up an appointment. I thought you might like to know there's 2,286 local households who plan to get or change a new legal firm or attorney. Would you also like to know what their legal needs are? It's hard for an attorney to say no to that because it's about and for their business. I've sat in conference room and we've been making calls, setting up appointments for four-legged sales calls, and businesses have said, stop. And the ad rep's concerned, what do you mean stop? And the guy says, how soon can you come over? This is very, very effective at getting their attention. And so we've got what to say, we've got what to email, and so you can just copy this to your clipboard, put it into your own email, and then we've got what to print. You come down here and you just click on print, and it prints it as a half page like I showed you in the example a moment ago. And so now you can print this. I'd suggest you print it on, colored paper. It makes it stand out more. And wrap it around that information piece you're already taking out. And I'll be blunt. I was an ex-ad director once in my career. You should not be going out side out your door without wrapping a teaser around that information piece you're already taking out. As you saw just what I've done, it takes literally less than 30 seconds to put together a teaser like this. So you just print it, wrap it around that information piece, staple your business card on it, and you're good to go. It's as simple and as fast as that. Okay, so that's an overview of the teaser. So let me go back here if I might, and we go back to our dashboard. So I want to show you the next tool for prospecting, and then the next engagement at the same time. So let's go to the geo-prospecting. So we click on geo-prospecting, and once again, you can set this up for whatever geographic area you want. So I'm going to type in Salmon Arm, good spelling. Okay, and there we are, downtown Salmon Arm. How do I know Salmon Arm? My wife's family lives in Salmon Arm. I love Salmon Arm, beautiful community. But look at this. So if I was an ad rep in Salmon Arm, look at this, right at my fingertips. Right at my fingertips are businesses. I was an ad rep once, driving around in my territory. There were businesses I frankly just, I overlooked. I didn't know they were there. This is a cool little resource to identify a business that you might not have realized were there. It's coming from Google, so it's not perfect, but it's darn good. And so now, and by the way, once you identify and zoom in and you can put in your own community name, then you can save it. Just click here on save, put in, whatever label you want, and then click on add. And every time you come back in it and click on geo-prospecting, boom, up comes your geo-prospecting targeted map. So let's click here on Jacobson Ford, okay? And let's come down here and create a flyer, the second engagement piece. And this is the one I mentioned a moment ago that is most popular. And so we put in auto, we just clicked on the name. And so now we've got to tell the program what type of business. So I click here, new vehicle dealership, and boom, just like that, we get a teaser. Once again, I need to edit. And let's see, where's Salmon Arm on here? I don't see it, so forget Salmon Arm, I'll be in Langley. So Langley, I update, you get the idea. Point is that my list, for whatever reason, didn't drop down entirely. So Carly, we're gonna have to take a look at that, make sure it drops down. But the point is literally with 2 clicks, click on Geo, click on the business, and boom, you've got your teaser, your flyer. It's as simple as that. Then you can edit, the distribution area, and then you can, with the business on your smartphone or on a tablet, engage the business. The business person might say, this car dealer would say, well, my gosh, I want to know about more purchasing for hybrids. I want to know about what you found out for luxury vehicles. Look at that. So with them, and they say, well, look, you got used vehicles. Great. I want to know. It's amazing how many businesses say, well, I'll give you 5 minutes. 45 minutes later, they're still asking questions and wanting to know more. Why? Because it's about and for their business. Don't be bashful and shy about using this information. And so you can expand the list, and obviously with them, for them. Where can you get more? Well, look at the number of trucks. My gosh, we should be advertising trucks. What do you have on automotive services? You get the idea. Because it's for them, they want to know. And so they realize you can bring them more business. They identify, my gosh, I can get more used trucks. Then you can come back with a consistent campaign. So that's an overview of using the geo-prospecting tool along with creating a flyer. So now let's go back to your dashboard and I'll show you the third prospecting piece, and that's the reader buying power. So we click here on reader buying power, and it'll populate here. There we go. So we click on a community. So let's go to Alder Grove, and look at this. It'll project out the opportunity. And look at this. Even though the percentage who plan to shop at a RV dealer is small, and by the way, this is your just completed research, okay? And this is for Alder Grove, which would be the mainland zone. So fresh research. So it's taking the research percent. Remember, that's all Simply Pulse does, times the households reached. If to give you the number of households who are going to shop at an RV dealership. Doesn't seem like a big number, but look at that. Average expenditure for an RV is $105,000. That's $49.4 million. 49.4. I don't know about you, but that's a big number. If I was an RV dealer, that would get my attention. So this is the third prospecting resource for you, that you can get the total opportunity spending, the reader buying power for each one of your business categories. It is a conversation starter. It smashes the misperception that print is dead. Now, the last piece I'd like to show you is the one-page presentation. They said, my gosh, this is great. You know, I can get more jewelry business, etc. So let's do this, if I might. We've got, you know, one of the things I committed to you, I know you're all busy, is show you how fast you can do a presentation. So what I'm going to do here is you can type in, you know, at the top here, a business name. I guess Ford isn't going to, let's type in State Farm. Oops, good typing here. So typing in State Farm, there we go. You guys know your businesses. And I'm sure that each one of you have a business you'd like to help. All you have to do is on your home page, you know, on any device, including a smartphone, just type in their name. Up comes Pulse Navigation right at your fingertips. You can create an account, teaser, fly. This is awesome. You could be in your car with your smartphone, which I know you all have. Click on your icon on your smartphone to Pulse. Up comes your dashboard. You type in the business name. You click on teaser or flyer. You walk in the business with the words to say. It's as fast and as simple as that. But we want to show you a one page right now. So we click on one page. Okay. We're going to click on the one page here. State Farm, because we just put in the name, we need to tell the program it's insurance. I'm sure all of you can type a lot better than I can. So we click on, and then we select our audience here. I can't remember where we were. Let's be in Maple Ridge right now. So we're in Maple Ridge. We're going to put together our proposal. And so, by the way, you can label the proposal. So let's say if this is, I don't know what you guys call it. A lot of people say they got VIP programs, gold. So you've got a package, an SMB package, and let's say it's $12,000, 52 weeks. Okay. It gives you the Pulse estimated household spending. It's the average for that business category. Okay. It's not designed to be a fit for every business. Why? Because like a furniture store, some are high end, some are low end. Okay. It just does, it gives a gross profit percentage. That's a placeholder. We want to get from the business, you know, their gross profit. Then we can put in products and services. It automatically populates, you know, once again for speed, you know, homeowner insurance, business insurance. By the way, business insurance is a great area. Many of the agents don't realize what the opportunity is for business insurance. And those policies are higher, by the way. And so select some, and you see how easy it is. These are most commonly selected. The program has a wee bit of artificial intelligence, and so it shows you what other ad reps have selected. So we select some products and services. If you want to put in spending, you can click there. Let's say last time you were talking to this insurance agent, he said, well, we're on Facebook. You know, we don't need you. We've got our own email. We've got our own website. And by the way, in your new enhanced research, we've got automotive sites. We've got real estate sites. We've got rental sites. We've got employment sites. We've got search by category, everything from retail to financial, etc. We've got radio, television, okay? Everything you need. So Facebook, not respond to a business Facebook offer. We want to show them what they're missing, okay? And now we can show them their return on investment. And I think my campaign was here, 12,000. So a 5-time return would be 60,000. So ROI is just return on investment. It's a multiplier, okay? And so they get a pretty low return at a bank, don't they? Let's show them the phenomenal return, how few customers they need to get a much better return with a campaign and investment in Black Press. So those are the simple setup steps. starting with the prospecting, or in this case, we did a search by business, and there is your one page. It's got the teaser, it's got let's find a solution, but most important, it shows the business how few customers they need to pay for a campaign. And it shows them how few customers they need for a great, in this case, 5-time return on investment on a mobile phone or on your tablet. You just click on the editing pen and you can engage the business. And I'll show you with the pop-up calculator, it's the same principle, but I want to show you in the limited time we have today how to use it just as a standalone closing tool. So always remember that on your on your one page, you've got the ability to engage the business. And what's important about this, you can show them how few customers they need to pay for a campaign. It takes the conversation away from price, because I don't know about you, but most businesses, if I walked in and say, hey, you want to spend $12,000? Most of them would, be polite and say no. Others would probably just throw rocks or stones. It ain't working. We got to get the conversation away from the cost, the price, and get it on to the benefit, the reality, get them to realize and understand that they don't need many customers to pay for a consistent campaign. It's as simple as that. And so this example here, all they need is just 6 customers out of the over 6,000 who plan to change and get a new insurance agency to pay for the campaign. You can ask them what the value, their customer is. Let's say you said it's $6,500. How much do they make? Let's say they make 30%. Important thing is you get it from them. So it calculates out what's the benefit to them, okay? By the way, the cost of goods here should be 70%. That's their cost. There we go. 30% is what they made. 70%, what's the cost to them? And obviously they got to pay State Farm, right? We'll show you in just a second on the standalone. Then you've got an ROI showing them how few, and also on the one page, part of the sales process is overcoming objections. So in summary, the one page pulls together all of the benefit opportunity statements, but more important, it gives you the opportunity to propose a consistent campaign, but it focuses on how few customers they need to pay for the campaign. And even better yet, it's interactive to get their input. And then when they change the numbers here, it changes the number here on their ROI. And then you can show them, if they say, well, I don't need you, we got our own business website, well, 60%. Remember, fragmentation. Nobody reaches everybody. Show them what they're missing. Great, great motivator. And so now let me just show you, as I just mentioned, going back to your dashboard, we've got a pop-up. So you're on your smartphone, you're out in the field, you're engaging with a business. Okay, you're going for the close, okay? Someday I'll tell you a closing story of how I learned to close. And let's say we're proposing make it 24,000. 24,000, 52-week campaign to a furniture store. I asked the furniture store, what is your customer value? In other words, new household comes in, money to buy, what will they spend with you over the next 12 months? Well, they'd spend about $2,500. What's important, it's their number. It's coming from them. What is your cost? Well, our cost is about 65%. Okay, so you make $875, right? Look at that. All you need is just 28 customers. You can do this on the phone with them or a tablet. If they say, well, I don't know, 28 sounds kind of, oh, by the way, what I do is I reinforce the repetition and consistency to really make sure they understand the phenomenal value. You're going to get 2 2x4s per week. You're going to get 50,000 impressions on the website. You're going to be in 4 special sections, okay? With that level of consistency and repetition, there's 6,000 available. Do you think you're going to get at least 28? And I've had many businesses say, well, that's a no-brainer. And I say, well, let's get going. And they say, great. It's a very effective tool, once again, to get the conversation away from cost, which is a lose, to comfort, how few customers they need. And by the way, if they say, well, I think 28 is a little high, what do you think is the worst case? Give me the worst case. I'm not shy. Tell me. Tell me candidly, what's the lowest number of customers you think you'd get? Well, I think 24, 2 a month. Well, look at that. 24 customers at your net of 875. That person just said yes to a $21,000 campaign. Why? Because 24,000 is their worst case, bottom line, lowest number of customers they'd get. They just defined for you an ad campaign of 21,000, didn't they? It's a great way to close. So that's the closing tool. And so now let me go to, if I might here, we'll go back to, there we go, the sales plan. Using this information. This is your tool and resource. Okay? Pulse recommendation, 25 prospects per week. I am absolutely sure that any one of you, regardless of your size of market, can find 25 businesses with the geo-prospecting, the hot prospects, or the audience buying power tools. 25. Simple. The next step is engagement, starting the conversation. With the twice weekly papers, confident you can find 15 a week, 15 businesses who would love and say thank you to somebody like you who cares about them. In the smaller markets, your weeklies, 10 per week or an average of 2 per day is the level, the best practices of the Pulse sales plan. So 15 in a twice weekly and 10. Very doable. Reason why is you got amply more opportunities and more bluntly, at least 15 or 10 businesses respectively who would say thank you. And from those, you're going to get at least 10 presentations per month, 10 one-page presentations. Why? Because they're going to say, oh, let's advertise, furnace repair. Okay, you come back with a full proposal, right? And so you engage them with the flyer, the teaser. They want information on how they can get their share. You found a solution for them. So getting 10 is easy. And with the closing tool, and by the way, my personal recommendation is this is easy. It's simple. Don't be bashful, even if you're not the strongest with numbers, because they will do it for you. Business people are number people. They love figuring out, well, how many customers do I need to pay for the campaign? So with a closing tool, out of 10 presentations per month, you're going to get at least 2 new businesses, at least 2 new businesses. And now in closing, the most important thing is make sure you get credit for your teasers and presentations. So let me go back here, if I might, to your Pulse program and go into reporting. There are 3 ways to report your activity and your results. First way is no problem, is go to your reporting. And in your reporting, it'll list each one of your businesses. And look at this, you've got little icons. You've got a kind of a voice thing for the teaser. You've got a flyer for the one page, i.e. door opener. That's what a lot of clients call the flyers, the door opener. And then you got a one page. So you just pick the particular, like you did a teaser, you call them up on the phone, you click here, navigation, and you come here and you mark that teaser as presented. That's very important. And you put in the date, the day you presented it. If you don't mark you presented your teaser or flyer or one page, you're not going to get recognition for that. You notice you just got some Pulse points. Everything you do in Pulse, you get points for. Presenting, closing, and even getting to know. And those Pulse points can be turned in, by the way, for trips to Hawaii in the middle of winter. Just teasing, which they were. But anyways, it's kind of cool. You can compete against each other with Pulse points. So on your reporting, very seriously, it'll bring a list of all the businesses you presented to. It shows you an icon of what. It's very, very important that you record what happened. So you mark it as presented, you mark it as sold, etc. Now, speaking of marking it as sold, let me go here to the one page. So we click on, first we got to present it. So let's say we present it today, 21st. By the way, happy summer. Then, and we're getting our Pulse points, then we're going to come in and we're going to mark it as, yay, sold. We sold it, okay? But we presented 12. Now, this is very important also. we want to keep track of brand new business, renewal business. Okay, keep track of both. How do you do that? So when you click on the sold date, it asks you, what type of sale is this? You click on the type, you click on, if it's new, you tag it as new. Simple as that. If it's renewal, you click on renewal. Okay? But in many cases, it's going to be split between renewal. Why? Because you had a business right now who's kind of been a so-so advertiser. And let's say they had a contract for 2, so they renewed the 2 of the contract. And there's 10,000 in new business, because they saw the opportunity. You gave a solution to them. So you're splitting the 12,000. 2 was renewal, 10,000 was new. Okay, simple as that. And so that's very, very important. You come down here on set, and it also asks you if this is a contract. If it's a contract, you can put in yes. You won't bother about that right now. Look at that, I got 10 points, for recording a sale. You can also record no's. Oops. So you can also come in here with your navigation button, and you can do this on your smartphone, by the way. You can edit your presentation. You can view your presentation. And what's also, and let me go here if I might, is we're going to go to accounts. You can also go to your accounts, and you can then enter the information. So you click here on accounts, and it'll bring up what you've done. You once again can go to your navigation bars, and you can record, presented, sold, edit, view, delete, etc. So right at your fingertips. And the third way is, and because I'm not a real, ad rep there, on your dashboard, when you log in, right here where it says presentations, let me see what happens when I click on show. It'll show. There we go. It'll show you the presentations. Then you can also click here, and then you can mark it as presented. And the reason I wanted to show you this, you're on your smartphone, you're there at Jackson Ford and Salmon Arm, and you want to bring up on your smartphone or bring up on your tablet the flyer. You just click on View Flyer, and there it is. And so right from your phone, from your dashboard, live out there with Jacobson Ford in downtown Salmon Arm, you can bring it up on your phone just by going to your dashboard and clicking. So you can prepare presentations at the office, or you can do it standing right outside their door, by the way, and then walk in and be the hero. It's as simple and easy as that. And so also on your dashboard will be specific goals, and your managers will be going over that. I went over it just a second ago. You can find 25 prospects, 15 or 10, depending upon your frequency. Number of engagements will lead to 10 presentations and 2 closes per month. That's the minimum opportunity for you. This whole program, as I said at the very beginning, is designed to support and help you achieve your mission and goal of helping your businesses, but also making more commissions for you and your family. So I'm going to turn it over to Randy and Carly right now. Randy, Carly?
Thank you very much, John. Thank you on behalf of Sean and I for the publishers' time yesterday. I know many of them are on the call again today. And to the sales teams for taking the time to look at this with us. I am wishing you all well using this. And Sean and I are certainly here to help support any of you that need any help or suggestions or, just another walkthrough. So don't hesitate to let us know if there's anything that we can do. Randy.
Thank you, Carly. And John, thank you. Great presentation. And thank you to you and your team for all the work that you have done to continue to develop the Pulse platform. The tools that you are providing for us are fantastic and are really going to help us tell our story more effectively. This process started a number of years ago when we asked ourselves one question, and that question really was, how can we serve our customers better? And we realized that process needed to begin by answering an important question. And that question was, is our audience going to buy the goods or services that our customers are selling? And everything happens from there. And John, you and your team have helped us answer that very, very important question. And when I look at that today and the incredibly rich database that we have of consumer purchase intentions for British Columbia, that really is unparalleled. No other media, in fact, I don't know that there's another source for that kind of rich data with respect to consumer purchase intentions. So when you marry that data with our net reach across British Columbia, I mean, a net reach of 70% is amazing when you consider the markets that we are doing business in. No other media can come close to that kind of reach. And when you think about the engagement that we enjoy, 9,561 surveys completed tells part of the story. But this month, we also have reached 919,000 followers in social media. This year, we're going to exceed 1 million followers in social media. So why is that important? Well, that speaks to the value that our audience places on the journalism that our content teams are doing across British Columbia. So when you put that all together and you think about the amazing sales team that we have, and they are amazing, they work hard, they know their communities, and when we give them this data and these tools, John, your comment about we are the best marketing partner to help local businesses promote their business successfully. Unquestionably, we are the #1 partner that they should be engaging with. And I think we really now have the tools to explain why and to help those businesses succeed. And frankly, I am super excited about working with the team to take that message to market. So thank you, John. Thank you, Carly, Sean, and thank you to everybody on the call today. The work that you're doing, the contribution that you're making to the success of Black Press Media is fantastic and greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Well, on behalf of Pulse, thank you, Randy. Thank you, Carly, Sean, to the publishers and each one of you team members. It is a privilege and an honor for Pulse to partner with you. We appreciate it, and we'll do everything we can to assist and support your success. So thank you.